So when I first came up against this pattern again, I had met somebody on a virtual networking meeting, and we had like a one-on-one, right? And during it, he was very aggressive. Thankfully, he didn't live in Massachusetts. He lives down in New Jersey. But he was very aggressive about, the first thing out of his mouth was like, "Do you have a boyfriend?" And then the second thing was like, "Why don't you have a boyfriend?" It was very, very aggressive. And I did keep saying, like, I'm not looking for anything right now. I'm actually actively not doing anything right now. I'm if you want to be friends, we can be friends, but that's it. But he kept doing it. And I didn't know how to stop that. When a man is very masculine and very aggressive, I get very overwhelmed feeling. Like, I'm like, oh. And you want to feel wanted. This guy wanted me. But obviously not for any good reason. Not for any reason that I wanted him to want me for. But I didn't recognize it. I didn't really, I felt the old feelings, but it didn't set off an alarm bell. I just thought, oh, he's a nice guy. Because that's the thing, guys. I assume people are great people, no matter what. I guess you can go about liking everyone when you first come into contact and not trusting them right away. You gotta find out who they actually are as opposed to who I want them to be. Ding, 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 ding. I spoke with this guy, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna come up. My brother's in Massachusetts. I'll come up sometimes. We can see each other." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I talked to Robin about it. I was like, "Oh, it's so funny." I kept saying, "I want to be friends," and he was like, "My objective is to make out with you. Isn't that funny?" And she's like, "No, it's not." I'm like, "No, but he's a nice guy." And she's like, "No, he's not." And it took me like 3 days to really come to the conclusion that she was right and recognize that this was a pattern in my life. Like 3 days, guys. I'm a slow processor. I was telling the girls about it, and they were like, "Oh, don't talk to him anymore." And he texted. The text was actually, "How you doing?" Right? And I was like, "What do I do?" And they're like, "Block him." And I'm like, "Oh." I mean, it's just I didn't know what to do about it. I didn't know what to do, and I wanted to be polite. Dangerous combination. So I recognized that pattern. I blocked the guy. And I was like, okay, well, now I know what to look for and how to go about saying no to that.